saying I first drove on the road when I was 8.
Yeah, something like that. I was filming myself talking to a squirrel.
You are definitely mental enough to be related to the most notorious gangsters ever living in England. The thing is though, he went nuts on us, didn't he?
He was stood staring at us like this.
It's been like over an hour, he's still looking at us. We thought he was going to kill us, didn't we? We're in Thailand, right? Then we go on that hunt all day to try and make a meat potato pie. So I went in swinging a big 8-pound bag of lamb, and I was that out of breath. I was like starting to sink, and I was thinking I'm going to die. The mental guy was in jail. Wasn't he in the van with us? Stop!
And honestly,
I acted up and I was so close to actually.
One of us was like half out the van and one of us was like half on the bed. The door was wide open, there was cans coming out the van.
True, Robert, that was carnage.
Get suck a chode in the van zone! Right balls, right balls.
Right balls.
Right boys, welcome back to the Honey Project. My name's Nick, I'm here with Tubber. And you have all seen the UK Roadie by now. If you haven't, go friggin' watch it, I don't know what you're playing at. But this video is the UK Roadie Untold Stories and also Best Bits. Because there's plenty of stuff that wasn't in the videos that we just got to tell you about and you need to know about. It's funny shit. We're going to go from the start, watching the first one and the second one, all the way through to the last one, which you've just watched. So, here we go, mate. Thing before, so I think we pressed them.
So we got pissed in it. Drove around Preston for ages in the van. We thought the tour bar had been robbed.
This is a little story that we didn't show in the video, but basically we needed a bike rack to put Tubber's bike on the back of the van. I was 100% confident that I had a tow bar when we set off. Like there was no doubt in my mind that I definitely had a tow bar. So we went into the shop and we were looking at bike racks and I was like, yeah, get the one that connects to a tow bar, eh? I've got a tow bar. And we just stopped in Preston the night before. So we went in, we bought this bike rack that had connected up to the tow bar. And then we got outside and I just didn't have a tow bar. And then I was so baffled by the fact that we didn't have a tow bar. We were like looking about for it and like questioning whether when we parked up in Preston someone had robbed the tow bar. Not the van, just robbed the tow bar. And then basically it came out that we looked back on old footage and old pictures of the van and yeah, it had never had a tow bar, like ever.
We were both so certain of it, weren't we?
We were like, it definitely had a tow bar yesterday.
And then we drove around for like 2 hours trying to find a tow bar.
Trying to find somewhere we could buy a tow bar.
Went everywhere and then we ended up buying one from the spot we started.
Yeah. We drove around fucking like 5 different places and then went back to Halfords and bought a tow bar from the place we bought a bike rack from. Stick.
I've watched the video like fucking 4 times and I still can't figure out what he's trying to fucking do.
Very chicken crisp, absolutely lovely. He's gone. What the fuck? Some like homeless guy just asked us to buy him a bottle of pop. When he got in a meal deal, come out and he's gone. He's gone. Do you know why he was gone? Because he wasn't fucking homeless. He was wandering about.
Any person who was actually homeless would have stood there and waited. Yeah. Just walked off and thought, I'm getting to be first. He'll go back and find them lads who bought the fucking bottle of pop.
Someone was telling me recently they were going into like Morrison's or something, and they said like a homeless man was like, oh, will you buy me some like food please? And they were like, yeah, no bother. And they went to me and I came back out and he was gone. And I was, to be fair though, I was 2 hours in the shop. I was like, he's not going to sit down with you, he'll fall
Just bring a backdoor boogie on the back of a shop so we didn't have to give him any food.
I feel like the king of my city, Tony Montana. Whole lot of bands I gotta spend, I might go cut me a mansion. I feel like the king of my city.
That campsite was actually well nice, wasn't it?
So okay, I want to go back and see.
Go see
Smithy.
Go see Smithy. Yeah. They come up to us and said, my name's Smithy, you won't forget it. I've got it on my arm.
It wasn't even like a good time, you know, was it? It was all like spaced out Smithy
down his arm. He was constantly on speed, that man, like, he just like, all the time.
He was telling us how we can get like weed and that in
somewhere that we weren't planning on going. Somewhere I'd never heard of. It was like, yeah, just go down to like the beachfront and you'll see a bus stop. Walk behind the bus stop and there's like a little building or something. Go in there and just say Smithy sent you. He was like, you'll be able to get anything you want.
I was like writing it down, like, yeah, I'll do that.
Imagine if he was walking in there and said, oh, Smithy sent us. Like,
who the fuck
trying to batter us. Smithy was like a full-blown bikie, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he
bro.
was
So he was telling us like stories about how he used to go around London in his dad's car when he was like 13.
He said I first drove on the road when I was 8.
Yeah, something like that. He was like, I used to get chased by the cops and I learned to come all the way home with the lights off, in the dark. He was like, I could drive you 100 miles an hour down that road with my eyes closed. I was like, if there's one man I'm going to believe can do that, it's probably you. But I definitely do not believe he's ever closed his eyes like he was like this.
You've never even seen him blink. Dude, I went and cleaned the dishes and then it was like a big, like an industrial sink, wasn't it? But having like a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Big deep sink, and I filled it to the brim with water, and it was full of chicken and rice, and I just left it completely full. And then he come over and asked us, didn't he?
He came over and asked us.
And then we said we denied it.
Yeah, we denied it, and then
he was going around shouting a bit.
he was going around all the other people on the campsite, and then by the end of it, he went, "It must have been that Kevy."
He played crazy Kev. He come over and he was like proper fuming about it. Must have been that Kevin.
This was actually close as fuck to us.
I've never been closer to get like not getting on a train. With the people on a train thought we were fucking mental.
Yeah.
Filming like a take me out scene in the toilet.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm 21 and I'm looking for a fit bird I can shack all the time. Here's some people laughing in the background.
They were sat in the bench behind you.
Excuse me, mate. Excuse me, mate. Hey, mate. Hello. Just to let you know, your mate over there, he robbed your chip. So I don't know what you're going to do about that. Did you hear them people laughing? They were laughing at me because I was filming myself talking to a squirrel.
I bet you look like a mental
Yeah, I
kid.
look nutty.
I will destroy you, motherfucker!
I didn't like them the first time I went, but I really enjoyed it when we went.
It's good when we were just messing about.
Trying to ruin the bikes.
Yeah, we were trying to fuck them up.
Didn't we think it cost us £2?
Yeah. Yeah, we read the thing, didn't we? And we were like, £2 for the day.
That's a fucking bargain.
That's a bargain. And then we got a bill for like 30 quid the next day. Yeah. Cause we spent the full day jumping them off curbs.
What dog was that?
Fresh campsite.
Does that maybe? I wonder if it's got dog wrote on the side of it somewhere. In big bold letters.
Shaved into it.
Yeah.
Use it anymore.
The end of this video makes me sad.
Yeah.
It's probably like hits you right in the field.
Yeah.
Rick Lloyd is back from the council.
I've got that song on playlist now.
Oh,
That's not
This doesn't show that.
No, it doesn't fucking.
So this is 3 minutes of Kev, and I reckon I've probably got about an hour and a half of footage of Kev. So if you do want to see that, I'll post it on my Instagram, but let me know, because it's going to take ages to sort through that and find some more funny shit, but there's absolutely plenty of it.
He was just such a legend, but he was mental.
she ate some snack with Chinese chat. Right?
If any of you are wondering what he's actually talking about there, because he doesn't make any sense in the video, but he does actually make sense, because we tried to find what the hell he was talking about, and it's actually a song called
Glasto, Patricia.
Glasto, Patricia. I'll play it at the
It's
end
from
of this
like
video.
the 1930s or something.
Yeah, it's from so long ago, but he's spitting that tune. Didn't tell us he was spitting that tune, no. We had to figure that out for himself.
We had no idea,
He
did
just
we?
come over and say, souls bastard. So we had much of a clue as what he was talking about as you lot did, but we did actually figure it out.
That's the most untuned guitar.
Yes,
The thing is that he claimed it all the time. It's like it's been sat in his loft for 30 years.
I fucking hate headphones. I am the man. I said I'm Sam the man. I give you a price for a slice of ham.
That makes no sense. That's a pretty shit deal.
Yeah,
A full pie
for
for
a
one
slice of
ham.
Slice of Bernie Matthews.
My cousins are crazy.
Genuinely
That's
do
what
not think he's cousins.
Nah,
I
nah.
feel like every old Londoner
Says
who's a
they're
bit
cousins.
mental
Yeah.
says that we're cousins of a Chris.
Yeah.
At the time, I believed him. At the
Yeah.
time, I was like...
When I was pissed, I was like, what?
Judging
Makes sense, eh?
Judging his character, I was thinking, you are definitely mental enough to be related to the most notorious gangsters ever living in England.
I'm a little wizard. I'm out here.
That bit was hilarious.
is a wizard. Kevin
We
is a
sound like
wizard.
It was out of tune.
We suffer
Kevin is
ages.
a wizard.
Kevin is a wizard.
Yeah.
I'm It's not partial, boys. I know what it's like to be your age.
Speak some wise words, is that what
I'm
Kev
still
was?
Yeah.
gonna be
I wonder
between
where
all-
Kev is now.
Yeah, I wonder that. I wonder if he's still on the campsite because
I
Kev,
don't-
apparently, what he was doing is he had some problems with his wife and that, so he moved out and he moved onto this campsite indefinitely. So he was just living in the corner. And when we pulled
In a
up,
tent with a little 3-piece stool.
yeah, Smithy comes up to us. He's like, "Don't mind the guy in the corner. He's a bit of an alcoholic, but yeah, he's just living here now. I made a deal with him and that." He was like, "Most of the campers keep away from him and that." I'm like, "We'll go talk to him."
We were
So
like,
he's bounced
literally,
around.
that was our first thing.
First
We
thing
were
we
going to
did,
campsite
yeah.
and go and speak to Kev.
Legend,
He was a
no?
legend, that guy, isn't it? The thing is, though, if you don't go and speak to people, you don't get stuff like his
No, I
experiences like
remember
that.
when-
I remember that for the rest of my life.
Remember when we were leaving, and you fucking, we were leaving and we were driving off, and he didn't want us to go.
He was like
hanging on the side of the van.
He was like letting off Max and Paddy. An old farmer. He was like, he's just holding on. He's got like peel his fingers off the van. He was like, he wouldn't let
He was
us
like
leave.
running alongside the van and that.
We
when
were in a rush to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And we were like, right, we're going to have to go on our pal because we're in a rush. And about 25 minutes passed and he was still clinging on like, you're a good group of lads.
He always had something extra to say, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then the van set off and he was like,
He had
wandering
so
along
much to
with
say
it.
and then like 10 minutes later he would repeat what he'd already said. That's all he was doing all night,
yeah.
wasn't it? He was repeating like the same 5 things all
Yeah.
night. The thing is though, he went nuts on us, didn't he?
Yeah, at the very end, we were just having a laugh with him like we were like the whole time. And he just turned on us and he was just like, I know we're used to taking the piss. We were like,
That was after he
we were
said, like, it was because he said, call me a wizard. He said,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a wizard, and we were going, Kev is a wizard. He was like, right now you're taking the piss.
yeah, after all the stuff he's been chatting like all the shite, and he's like, no, you're taking the piss, and he probably like fell out with us. He went back over, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
we
pretty
shouted,
much-
see you later, Kev, and he turned around and went, fuck off.
yeah.
Flagged us off.
Yeah,
and then he
and then-
sat on that stool.
Yeah, we went in the van, we were like, "Alright, we're going to bed now," and then we were looking out the window, like peering out the window, and he was sat on his stool. Well, for ages he was stood, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was stood staring at us, I guess, and then he was sat on his stool.
The thing is, though, it was like one of them little camping stools that
Yeah.
you pull out. It's got 3 legs like this, with no back, and about this big. And he was sat for about an hour and a half, just like
Yeah.
this eyeballing the life.
And
out of
by
him.
the end, we couldn't tell if he was like still staring at us or he just fell asleep on this tiny little stool.
No, at the time, though, we were looking up and we were going, it's been like over an hour. He's
Yeah.
still looking at us.
Yeah.
And then we woke up in the morning and he was asleep on the stool still, wasn't he?
We weren't too
Yeah.
sure if he was gonna, like, after all this and all the nice words, if he was just gonna murder us.
We thought he was going to kill us, didn't we?
Yeah. Right, he's gonna kill us again.
Yeah, hey. When it come down to it and you send it through, I'ma hit you back like nah, nah, nah. When you slept on me, now you ask for the handout, I'ma hit you back like nah, nah, nah.
Mr. Joey from Florida has never had a Greggs, he's never had a sausage roll, never had a meat and tatty
Well,
pie.
we were in Thailand, didn't we go on that hunt all day to try and make a meat and potato pie?
That was a full day mission,
We
wasn't
were
it?
with a guy from Sweden and Joey, weren't we?
Meal and Mouth from Denmark, Joey from Florida, me and Tubber from Cumbria, and I swear there was another person.
Yeah, it was,
Because he bought one of them,
Was that up? Yeah.
the old fermented egg, and he was just scranning fermented eggs, you know, the black ones?
Honking them.
Because these, pretty much everyone apart from us two had never had a meat and potato pie,
Yeah.
so we were like, we've got to make one, eh?
Yeah. I spent a full day looking around Thailand trying to find pie, like an English pie ingredients.
12 hours in like fucking 32 degrees heat, marching around all the shops and
We were on our
markets.
pens and that, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were going to go find a wildfire, weren't we?
Yeah.
Trying to go and find a random farmer's fire. It would have been
fire.
way too hot.
Yeah.
Massive.
Well, we're looking
We're
for
gonna-
knives and everything,
Yeah,
weren't
we're
we?
going
Like,
to
what we're going to
tinfoil
cut
it,
it up
weren't
with
we?
and that, yeah.
We're going to get tinfoil, I think, and wrap it in tinfoil and just throw it in a fire. Or we're going to make a fire and make an oven out of fire.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, we
it's
all-
burning season.
Yeah, we're all on the scooters, so we're going to go find a wildfire. We went in like every shop we could find and nowhere sell
Went to a
pastry.
market, we couldn't
Yeah.
find any pastry. We couldn't find any
Any beef.
We
no.
ended up buying like pork or something.
Yeah,
didn't
we bought like pork.
We couldn't find any potatoes either, could we?
No, we were all around all these markets in Thailand, like looking for it all. Because like, I remember having a proper struggle about the pastry, like what we were going to use and that. We were going to put 3.14 on the top because we were in pie in Thailand.
Well, what we said, we're eating pie. We're going to put pie on pie in pie.
Yeah, cook a pie in pie, eat a pie in pie, and then we were going to play this song that was like pies.
yeah, we
It was like pie and pie and pie and pie. I think we ended up going to one of the hostels, didn't we? And we had like, what did we have? We had some like, I swear we had potatoes or something.
I can't remember what we found.
then
It was something
we had some
along the lines
ingredients.
of a potato.
Yeah, that's like the only
It was
ingredients we had.
something else.
I think we ended up just throwing them about and threw them on the roof of the hostel and that.
Yeah, we did that.
And that was it. Rest in peace. But we'll definitely make that pie one day though.
Yeah, I think that's how we got onto this. Wasn't it like the whole, we were talking talking about him not having a pie, and then we're like, we'll go get a sausage roll from Greg's. He was like, I've never had a sausage roll.
Yeah, but that's where this
Yeah,
whole
this is
thing,
where this whole thing came from, yeah.
Wow, fucking, what's the
whole
word?
circle.
Backstories,
The
like,
whole circle,
backstories.
like, yeah.
Like, you know when there's like a fucking Avengers movie come out and there's all the backstories, who just fucking unleash the backstory of Joey the American.
Joey the American,
Yeah.
and his lust for sausage rolls.
Oh, nah.
The mission failed, but all it took was one look into the sadness upon this poor American boy's face to realize no man should ever have to live his life without the taste of a sausage roll. It's inhumane.
Most people I've talked to about this were like, I expect them to have more of a reaction, like...
But from a great sausage roll,
Yeah.
to be honest, not the best sausage rolls in the world.
Nah.
They're pretty banging, but they're not like a Cornwall dirt roll. They are something else. One thing I realised on those videos is I had the worst haircut I have ever seen.
That wasn't the way you're supposed to go on a bike though, through that tunnel.
Nah.
There wasn't like no bike lane or like
There's
proper
no way,
pavement
you know.
really, there's no way.
I think it's funny how I was
It's like
just
an underpass.
asking people.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't
we-
see it in the video
no.
though, we explain it, but people are probably like, oh well, just asking people, that's like not
We
too
were on
bad,
the other
but-
side of London.
Like, yeah, to
was
explain,
so
we were
far
like
away.
an hour away, like, on a bike, so like, that's pretty far away, like, it's a good 20-minute train journey
The
or
thing
something.
that I was amazed by as well though, we were asking people where it was, and not once did we go the wrong way.
And not many people knew exactly which way to go. They were like, Buckingham Palace.
Like, pointing
they were
in a
like,
random
They were just
direction,
going
like-
like, you're pretty far away here, mate. And we were like, I think if you go that way. And then, and we just nailed it.
Yeah, we nailed it.
Nailed it.
We found it, boys. Here we have Pedo Palace.
I feel like the king of my city. Tony.
Just go to Buckingham Palace, make shitloads of pedo jokes.
That's all we did in London the whole time we were there. Big jokes about the Queen being a nonce.
Probably is though, to be fair.
I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't trust it with my kids anyway. If I had any. Wouldn't even trust it with my sperm.
Andrew just came out the front door of the fucking palace, came up to us and went, hey lads, have you seen any kids now?
Get him jailed. Hey, pedos. She's none the wiser though, unless she's seen this. Unless she's one of the 200 people that have seen this.
The Queen's,
Kev
the Queen's
and the Queen.
filed a formal complaint against her because we've called her a nonce.
There's no way Prince Andrew and Lizzie are fucking sat around watching my vids with it.
Gonna be honest, we have absolutely fucked it.
We were fairly steaming at this point, like
We
on the
were.
train.
We'd had a fair few titties.
We've been drinking all
We
day
were on the
them, like,
doobies as well,
on the
wasn't
doobies
we?
and on the drinks all day.
Well, the first stop before we went to Bull Bars was to the shop. We're on their bikes just with titties in like the front basket.
No phone charge, in the middle of nowhere. Our spot's like about an hour and a half walk from Pulborough. We're just fucking.
This was actually
were-
a nightmare.
Yeah,
this.
we were proper, like, I don't think the video does it justice properly.
No,
because
it really doesn't.
we were
like,
trying to video
was
it,
a
but
nightmare.
we were actually proper screwed, so we were also, like, there's video in it is, like, a bit of a pain in the arse when you're actually pretty fucked.
The one thing I remember with all this is when we got to Clapham Junction
Yeah.
and we were like, shit, we need to find like a hotel or something.
Yeah,
and it was our main priority. And then we were walking down the street and you were like, oh, I'm just going to go get a Subway. And we went in the Subway.
Like 3 in the
It was
morning,
like,
we had
proper
nowhere to
late
go.
on,
Yeah.
like frantically trying to find a hotel. And before we'd even tried one hotel, you were like, I think I'm going to go get a sandwich. At this point, we still weren't arsed at all.
No.
Our plan was to get there
Yeah.
and hopefully use a payphone or use someone's phone to ring a taxi at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Probably later than that when we were
Yeah,
getting in,
'cause-
because it's like an hour away, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we had to get to Clapham, and then we had to Clapham to Pulborough.
Like an hour and a half on the
At this
train.
point, we didn't realise that the Pulborough train wasn't on. Our plan was to go to there, get the train to Pulborough, and then our campsite was like miles away from the station. Like it's walkable, but it'd take you like
It's
2
all
hours.
like dark country roads, wasn't it?
Yeah, like no lights at all. And then there was a payphone
Our
outside.
phones had died, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So if we got there, we'd have actually just been walking in the dark.
Yeah, and we had a couple taxi numbers for Pulborough on the back of Joey's Burger King receipt. And we were just going to use a payphone once we got there to ring them taxi numbers and hopefully get us back to our campsite. And obviously none of that went to plan at all. But yeah, at this point when you see us on the train, we're still not arsed at all. We think it's all going to be like Gucci and that.
We're just messing about it.
Yeah. Even when we were looking for the hotel and that, we still weren't as arsed as probably we should have been.
No,
like-
we were just strolling around.
Yeah.
It was like
getting
daft
subways and that.
we were just
like-
joking, like, we're going to have to sleep rough today. In like a rough as fuck spot. We was like, we'd have definitely been robbed.
Like, we were both in shorts, and like shorts and a denim jacket, but $3,000 camera on me. I'm like, well, sleeping rough it is.
We'd have definitely got robbed.
100%, man.
If all goes to plan.
If all goes to plan.
And if not, we're going to be sleeping rough.
Because you just see us, like, we get lost and then we wake up in a hostel at Clapham Junction.
But a hostel
But
was miles away, wasn't it?
That is not how it went down at all.
We went to the first one, didn't we?
We went to like a Premier Inn and then we went to a
It
Holiday
was
Inn.
full.
And then
We walked
went,
like miles up. We walked like ages. We went right round and like right down like a mere road.
Like fucking Mary and Joseph. No room at the inn. Yeah, well, because we went in like a Premier Inn and they were like, sorry mate, we're full. But I think it was because it was COVID. They weren't having as many like people in the hotel, so some of the rooms were just empty. And obviously we're just two drunk stragglers, so they're not just gonna let anyone in, even though we had money. And anyway, they said they were full. Went to Holiday Inn, full. We went to must have been about 4 or 5 different ones.
A few, like.
And we walked like right around Clapham Junction, which you get told to not walk around at night. It's supposed to be a bit dodgy. And then
meant to be rough. We were planning on sleeping rough.
We were gonna sleep rough. Yeah, we literally had no choice. We went in this.
Did I have a jacket on? I think I was in a t-shirt.
I think it was getting cold. Like
it was getting cold. It was, it was like morning. Early morning.
Then basically we went to, I can't remember what the hotel was, but we went there. They were just like, they were like, we're full, we can't let you in.
Holiday Inn.
And we were like, oh fuck, and they seen us like panicking, like what the fuck are we gonna do? And
they're actually that helpful and all.
They said we'll charge your phone fee and sort you out a hostel, and they booked us in a hostel round the corner.
How did we get in there? It was just a pub.
Yeah.
Went upstairs, it was like the pikiest place ever.
3-tier bunk beds.
There was only us and one fat guy in the thing, and I got to bed under him. I could feel his presence above me. It was like there was a hippopotamus sleeping above me. They give you a bed, they give you set beds, yeah. So I had to sleep under that big fat geezer. It was massive.
I was on the 3rd tier, and when I would roll, the bed would like sway like this.
Every time I moved above me, it was like an earthquake was happening on my bed.
And he was snoring like fuck one.
Oh, it was bad. I remember I went to sit up at one point in the bed. It was like I was in my own, like an early coffin, and I sat up and just smacked my head up on Lano's back, basically. It was like a mattress away from my head. His sweaty fat ass.
It's mad to think that there's some sweaty fat man out there that you've slept underneath him.
Slept under him? Who sleeps under someone that they don't know? Who sleeps under anyone at
Period,
all?
yeah.
I can't say I've ever slept under anyone apart from that fat man.
Then we woke up, didn't we, and we got back on the train. The reason we messed up with the trains is because we weren't buying tickets. Because
we were just jumping at
we were just jumping on the trains because
we were buying like a £2 ticket to Clapham Junction.
Yeah, we were buying we were buying a ticket to the closest train station possible. We're getting off at like the last one because it seemed to work and we put it in the thing. And obviously we were on a bit of a budget doing this. We were buying them, so on the way back, I don't know why we didn't think we should actually buy a ticket this time.
Because we were still trying to be tight. Well, like if anything, we were trying to be more tight. Because we just had to pay for a hostel.
Yeah, so we didn't buy a ticket again, and we just jumped on, and it just didn't stop at Pulborough, which is where we needed to stop. And it just went right past.
Pay like 30 quid for a taxi, so we should have really bought tickets.
Yeah, we should have
made sense. We're such cabbages.
Let them know that I did it, I ain't never need nobody. Let them know that the money coming, never changing nothing.
That's your favourite pub, innit?
Oh yes.
Can't be Plowboy. The Plowboy Inland.
Gives me proper road trip vibes, but that's what it is. You've not warm.
Nah, I'm alright.
I should take my beanie off, but my hair will be a stay. I've just had a haircut and put a beanie on straight after it. I do it every time. I go in the hairdressers with a beanie. I come out
I did it last time.
and I feel like I shouldn't really put my beanie on until I'm outside. I feel like it's a bit disrespectful.
Right, but that's what said to me last time in the hairdresser. She said, are you happy with it? And I said, yeah. Proper happy sound as fuck. And I turned around and just went, put my hand on. So just giving out pure like, give me a shit haircut. I'm not happy about it, man.
I put my hat on in there today, like, but it does. You do think like, well, I obviously came here with that. I'm not gonna walk out like trying to show off
swinging it in your hand. Do you like my new haircut, pal? Well, here's a bottle of pop.
Do you ever come out the hairdressers and you just like check you're selling car windows and that? You're like, and you don't have a hat with you and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Before we went to Thailand, I went into a Turkish barber's because I had really long hair before I went there, and we went in and I got my hair cut, and I came out there like a little tiny fringe up here, and I looked and Lena went, is that all good? And I looked and I thought, that is tragic. So I went, yeah pal, I suppose that's fine. I've never been more happy to leave the country in my life. So I remember coming out here and thinking, thank God I'm going on the other side of the world so no one sees me. When I went to a hairdresser actually, I got my hair and my beard done.
Right.
And I went in, but I'd been to butcher's first, so I went in swinging a big 8-pound bag of lamb. into the hairdressers. And I sat down, got my hair cut with a bag of lamb. Yeah, I just like I put my bag of lamb on the seat, like in a butcher's bag, like in food bags. Put my bag of lamb on the seat and sat and got my hair cut.
You find it like quite funny at the time?
I didn't think anything of it. I came out, I thought, I bet he thought I was mental. I'd be in a bag of lamb and some sandpaper.
A bag of like dead animals, just like.
I think I had a bag of lamb and loads of different types of sandpaper. I was thinking, what's he doing today?
Be one hell of a sculpture that like.
Well, who doesn't like to file little sandal lamb down?
Yeah, hey, when it come down.
We met that, what's she called? That tall lass?
What's she called?
Like, Asia. Or
Asia? I lost my passport when we went out. That's why we got in touch with her, because she worked in the pub, and didn't go in, and I walked away without a passport, and I was like, I've lost my passport, and she messaged me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, she was like, well, I'll meet you on the beach, and we were walking on the beach, like
we couldn't remember what she looked like, because we were that messed up the night before.
You had to message her and say, stand up, so I could see where she was, because I had no idea what she looked like.
We went in the sea, we went like way too far out, didn't we? And we like...
We passed all the surfers.
Yeah, we passed all the surfers, just with no
8-foot waves.
Like everyone out there had a surfboard or some sort of floaty device. Well, to be fair, where we were, there wasn't any surfers. Like just in front of us was all the surfers, and we were just like swimming in these huge waves, couldn't touch the floor, and like.
I just remember it went from like we were having a laugh 1 minute, to like just like that. I couldn't see anyone. We just went into panic mode. We were trying to swim back, and I was like this. I was going, and every time I'd come up, the wave would hit me, and I would just go in the water, and I'd come back up to catch my breath, and I'd just get tumbled again.
Yeah.
And I was halfway back, and I remember going like this, trying to swim. Halfway back, and I was out of breath. I was like starting to sink, and I was thinking I'm gonna die. We got back to the beach, didn't we? We were like on the beach, just like, oh my god, that was bad. And then didn't we get out, and she was just in the water.
She was still loving it.
What was her name? She could probably touch the floor. We're talking. Was that the same day we met that guy?
What guy?
The mental guy who was in jail. Wasn't he in the van with us?
Yeah. No, what's his name, mate?
Skater, wasn't he?
Skater dude, yeah. And
he was dead paranoid, wasn't he? We were in the van. When we parked on the beach, he was like, you can come park at the skate park, you never get a ticket there.
Yeah.
And we sat, and he kept looking like that, and he was like, well, what are you looking at? It's like, there's a van over there, I think he's sitting watching us.
We went on about it that much that we thought he was like nose to tail with us like that close, and we looked out the back window and
he was like on the other side.
He was like on the other side of the car park.
Miles away.
And the car park was huge.
And he was facing the opposite direction as well.
He was proper paranoid. He ended up starting to tell us that he went to jail. He went to jail for dealing
but he said
party
some
drugs.
lads were after him, didn't they?
Yeah, and he said he's upset some people beforehand, so there's some lads were after him. He got a phone call, didn't he? And Addo just said like his name. And said like, watch yourself. That's all and he said he had no idea who it was because it was from a withheld number. So now he's like all paranoid and that, living in his car in Cornwall.
But he was just literally sleeping in there. He had like an air mattress.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it deflated in the middle of the night. He was sleeping with nothing on the windows or out, was he? It's like lying in the back of the car on a mattress.
I don't know what's in this cave. There could be a rapist in this cave. Even though we were drinking a lot in this video, I don't remember actually having a hangover, like at all. Apart from
Truro. That was carnage.
That was.
Didn't we pull in? Didn't we drove? We literally put on the sat nav Truro, and then it knocked off on the middle of a roundabout. So I was like, turn off there quick.
Yeah.
We were panicking, and we ended up turning off.
And we pulled up in a car park, didn't we?
Like next to like what we thought was a lake.
We thought it was a lake.
It was fucking really nice as well, wasn't it?
And we parked. There was no one in the car park, so we thought we'll park across two spaces and then open the door so then we can look out across the lake, which was like slap bang in the centre of, I don't know if it's a city or a town, but it's slap bang in the centre. And we were like, oh, this will be sound for the night. And then so we went out and we got absolutely gutted.
We bought a crate, didn't we? And we drank the crate at the van. That was the night the door fell off. Like, it was like it unhinged, didn't it? And like that's when I was shooting and scratched right down the side of the van.
Because we went out and we couldn't get in anywhere because everywhere wasn't letting like loads of people in because of COVID. So we went back and we bought a crate.
We only got in one pub, didn't we? And we only got in one cocktail bar.
Yeah. So we went back and we got smashed at the van, like proper gutted and fucked up. And we were just blasting tunes and that, weren't we? And then we ended up, I don't know what happened, but we both fell asleep. And one of us was like half out the van and one of us was like half on the bed. The door was wide open, there was cans coming out the van.
I literally woke up like this, hanging off the bed.
Yeah.
Like absolutely dying. Like the worst bad head I've ever had.
It was red hot the next day. And we woke up because there was loads of noise around us. And we were like, what's going on here? And we woke up and we got up and we were like looking like absolute death, like rough as toast. And the car park was full, like absolutely packed. There wasn't one space to be seen.
People driving around trying to find a space.
Driving around trying to find a space, and we're just parked across 2 parking spaces with cans going out of the van and
all over the floor,
all over the floor. And then it turns out we'd parked in the car park where loads of kids play football and that behind it. And that,
I got out in the morning. You were still like half asleep, dying, and I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck?" Looking around, the door was still wide open from the night before. I was looking around, I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then I got out like this, and I literally got out of the thing and I stood like that. I opened the front door because there's loads of people. I went down a piece next to the front door, and I was like, he's like still half asleep. And I looked up, and a man and his son just walked past, and I just looked up like out my knob. I went, "You alright, pal?" And I just put my head back down again. Cock it, lot out.
The thing is, as well, we know for a fact, well, we were like half out the van, kipping and that, and everyone's in the car. They will have been looking in the van trying to see why the hell this person's took up.
And we would have like used to die.
And we'll be like this with cans everywhere and that.
For about half an hour before I got up, I was just going,
And then there was some kid looking after, like, with his dad on the boat.
My name is Russell.
Yeah, he was like that little kid off up. It was like we were in some. I honestly, it was a must.
He was telling about how his dad's prime and his boat.
I was like, we in a fucking movie here or something. Like, we woke up and this kid's like, "Hi, my name is whatever his name was." Like, "My name is Russell. My dad's boat over there. We're just getting the shillies off the bottom of it." Like all this.
It was walking us through on how to clean and varnish a boat.
Yeah.
And he was like fucking 6 or something. And we were like, "So what do you do, man?" And he just walked us step by step through it.
Yeah.
And then his dad's like, "Sorry, you can be a bit much." Oh, that was brilliant. And then when we got out of the van in the morning, it was like we were in a different place because there was all the people. And I remember looking over and all the water that we thought was a lake was gone. It was all this mud because it was like wherever the tide comes in, like right into the sea. It was all just dirt.
Yeah.
We literally looked around like we need to get out of it quick. Like this is absolutely awful.
That was a bad day.
That was the worst morning, but it was so funny.
So we're in a bar and Tubber's going to swallow a tenner.
And it's fine.
Imagine if I actually went
that would have
down
unfolded at some point in your life.
I would have been probably dead.
Yeah, we probably would have.
Death by Queen Lizzie, she's got a revenge.
We definitely would have been in A&E that night,
Yeah.
and you would have been getting either your stomach pumped or you would have been sliced open to get the tenner out of side of you.
Like an operation to get a £10 note out of it. So really, Lizzie's got the last laugh there. Douse me up, mate, douse me up.
I'm dousing you, I'm dousing.
We filled that up in the bathroom. It was one of them like a hand dryer, but you put your hand under it and then the soap came out and then the water would come out.
A little bit of water. Switch after that. Give you what you thought was enough water, which it wasn't, and then it would blow all loads of air down, all in the same spot. So because we were putting our hand under, ignoring the soap, and then getting the water, and then hand dryer would come and it would blow the soap everywhere.
There was a little toilet, it was just full of soap.
It was full of soap and bubbles because there was obviously like little bits of water about and on the floor to the beach toilet.
Like the only public toilet for miles. Yeah. We actually lost that bottle, didn't we? I nearly ran off the cliff after it.
Yeah. So when we're parked there, it's like on the very edge of the shore, and basically either side, if you just ran either side, you just run right off a cliff. And it was really windy, like, you know when on the video where there's them crazy waves, it was probably around that time. And basically it was proper windy and we needed to fill the water bottle up, so we'd left it by the door. So we were like, oh, we'll fill this up when we get a chance. Anyway, we opened the door and the water bottle just got sucked out the door.
Pitch black as well.
It was pitch black and it just blew away. I was like, Tubber, the water bottle! Like, I was sat in the van at this point. Tubber starts legging it and it was just like blowing and blowing, and I seen it go off the cliff. I was like, Tubber, stop! And honestly,
I yanked it up and I was so close to that cliff side. I would have ran off. I wouldn't have like ran and fell off, and I just kept running right off it until I was like hitting the rocks. And I've been running whilst falling towards rocks.
But yeah, that was Ghana, like, that's in the sea somewhere, just living his best life, like.
Hey, I do what I want and I feel like a man. All of it part of the plan. Yeah, I got my own money, don't need it.
It's spitting.
Let him know.
Oh, you're spitting.
Fucking mount was shit. Fuck you, Amazon. Circle on my ass.
Fuck you, Amazon.
There's a sign. It's not a sign. It's a fucking bench. We've got to get on that fucking bench.
That was a weird bench, wasn't it?
Strange.
It reminded me of The toilet in the hostel at Thailand.
Oh,
Do you know,
you
it's like
used
you're
to
sitting,
dangle.
on a shelf.
Yeah.
It was on like a block of concrete. You'd sit in it and you'd be like a kid at school. Your legs just be swinging while you're taking a dump.
Another toilet from Thailand was when we drove out to like a canyon on the bikes, on like the little peds. We drove out to this like canyon that was in Pai, and
We're flying down the moor.
we
as well.
were just flying down the
Fucking
moor,
hell,
no helmet or anything. Just we got out like right out there, like out in the fucking wilderness. I was like, I'm gonna shit myself. I was like, I need a shit. I was like, I hope there's a toilet. Like we're out in the wilderness, there's not gonna be a toilet. Anyway, there fucking was. There was just like a random
one building
in the whole of like this wilderness. I was like, I hope that's a toilet. And I went in. There was no lights or anything. There was just lizards and spiders, and there was no lights. There was just a toilet and a bum gun because there's no toilet paper. There's just like a jet hose that you wipe your ass with. Well, not wipe it. You don't just you don't put it in there and just like scrape it out. You just spray your ass.
Rake your ass in a bum gun.
And basically, yeah, I went for a crap in there, and obviously it was dead silent, so you could hear me shit from a mile away. And then yeah, I just used the bum gun, got out of there because there was just loads of lizards and spiders crawling around me.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out.
It's my favourite intro.
Fuck me. That sounds fucking... That's someone else. That's beautiful.
Oh, the dragon's balls ablaze as I stepped into his cave. And I sliced his fucking cockles with a long and shiny blade. Was I you fuck the dragon, fuck a licing, fuck a loo. Gotta get home in the party zone. Gotta shoot a load in the party zone. Gotta lick a toad in the party zone. Gotta suck a toad in the party zone.
We just check over there, and there's not even a way out over there. They've done this to the gate so we can't get out.
Didn't we come out and people trying to drive me back up? The gate wasn't even on, was it?
No, so
Did we
we
leave the gate off and drive
no, so we just took the gate off. They pulled up like just as we were taking it off. We had like a gate in our hand with a chain on and that, and then these foreign people pulled up and they were like trying to argue that it was open. Even we were like, no, it's not open. We've just had to take the gate off, and they were like sort of just pretty adamant that it was like open and that they should go in. We were like, you can't go in. Like they had no clue what we were saying.
We should have just let them in and shut the gate behind them.
It was almost in a situation we were like, no, the gate's not open. We've opened it for the thing, and they were like, but it's open. And that was like what was going down, and obviously we were there looking at each other like, well, it's not. It is open, right? And you are right in saying that. But at the same time,
it's not open.
It's not open. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you.
There's a padlock and it was like 2 farmers' gates. It was like lifted and moved.
Like got them in our arms like this. Like it is technically open now that we've opened it, but it's not supposed to be
Just
open.
like sat and watched us remove the gate.
They were probably having none of it though, were they? I think they were still looking at it when we put it back on in the robot. They were still sat there just looking at it like, I wonder if it's open like.
That campsite was when didn't we go to use the shower?
Yeah.
It was full of spiders. It was horrible. I was going in like you said, didn't want to touch anything.
It was like a portaloo, but like instead of having a toilet in there was a shower in there, and honestly it was full of spiders, like huge spiders everywhere all around you. And I first went in, did you get a shower first on me?
You went first.
I went first, and I came out and I was like, I'm not going in there. Like,
you came out, you were like, no, we both looked at it like to see him look at a shower, and I looked, I was like, I think I'll stay there.
Honestly, there was spiders everywhere. I don't know, we ended up getting a shower though, and it was horrible, like, because it was dark as well, like pitch black when we were there. So I had my phone torch on this tiny little shelf that had spiders on it, like this, just getting a shower, like as quick as that. And then, yeah, I mean, I came out to you, didn't I? I was like, I can't go in there, you gotta get this big one out, like.
Yeah, you did. Come get this big spider on. I was like, I am not going near that.
It was awful. It
You
was
said
like,
we're getting a confined space with you.
it was like a bush took a trial, I swear down. We were like, get a shower in here, like it'll be all
So many
fine.
spiders.
It was
I
horrible.
hate spiders.
Shallow. Look at the moon right now. This was madness.
I've never seen anything like it.
the sun. That's it on the hill there.
I've never seen it happen again.
It's pretty much gone. That's the moon.
Like it ran out of charge or something.
Man, I know I'm no expert enough, but I've got no explanation for what the fuck has happened with that.
There's no expert, but that's a zero explanation for that.
The first part of that sentence was no needed, was it?
No.
Oh, I'm no expert or anything, as if you were going to like come up with an explanation. But I have no explanation. Excited to announce on the Honey Project channel that the moon is no more. The moon's gone. So there's no moon. So say bye bye, and I'm not wrong at that point though. Yeah, we'll never see that again. The moon was gone. One subscribe equals one prayer that the moon will come back.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it.
So put in the title, Witch Skeleton Found. It's not wrong, but we didn't find it.
Yeah, make it out as if we just found a dead witch.
So you just find a dead body and you're like, that's a witch.
That's definitely a witch. It's got a crystal ball. Must be a witch.
It's got a fucking hat on, mate. Oh shit.
Cowbird.
Look how dirty my socks are after it though. Oh my gosh, caked and shit, and I put my shoes on after that as well, and we spent the full night on the beach.
Took us ages.
So
it's just in your mouth.
Yeah. We're on a secret hidden beach in the middle of fucking Cornwall. Where did we stop that night? Because we didn't stop there because we couldn't find a spot there.
No, we didn't. I can't remember.
I can't remember it.
No idea.
We definitely hadn't sorted a campsite out and we were just sat on a secret beach. That's the best thing about this road trip is like, no matter what happened, we just sort of didn't give a fuck. We were just going with the flow the whole time. Like when we went on the road trip originally, it was 2 weeks before we were going. I said to Stubby, I was like, you want to go on a road trip? And we were like, yeah. Like, when should we go? Like, oh, 2 weeks? And we were like, yeah, go on then. And I went and got Tubber. We put like chuck loads of shit.
I think I rang you, you rang me. I was like, do you still want to go on this road trip?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, when we going? I was like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, I'll go pack a bag.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs and I threw all my clothes in this bag, like just rapidly packed a bag, and I left the house like 5 minutes later. And then when we got there, didn't I mean a bag's like that much clothes in it, it wouldn't zip up properly. But and then I got it out and it was like one decent pair of clothes, and all the rest was stuff from when I was like 14 and that. It's like knackered old clothes.
And then as well, when I first picked him up, we set off and we just
It was like 6 o'clock at night.
6 o'clock at night, like it was pretty much dark already.
The day was done and we set off.
We set off on this road trip and we just looked at each other like, where are we going then? Had actually no plan like at all, but that's why it works so well.
Yeah.
People say if you plan too much, you stick to a schedule too much, but people say you can't plan too little, but actually you can plan too little. Like, we had an awesome time because we never.
The only thing we said we wanted to do was like the gardens of Heligan and all that. But even now we've seen that when we were there.
We've seen that while we were there. Yeah. We're just like.
We didn't plan anything.
No, we just
not
talked
one
to people.
Thing, apart from we'll go and see Joey in London. That's the
that
only
was
thing we had
on the
idea.
And we had some idea that we wanted to go down to Newquay, but other than that, like.
We were actually driving down Edgy and going to France, weren't we?
Yeah.
You didn't have a passport.
That was the only reason we didn't end up across Europe was because I didn't have my passport on me. That was
we were
the
like down
reason.
London, we were like, should we just go to France instead?
Yeah, we'll get the ferry, we'll go down.
To like Netherlands and that. We'll go down and just get super baked.
Yeah, I just didn't have my passport on me, so that didn't happen. But we would have been over there. Like we probably would have. I don't think we'd have come back when we said we were going to if we were over there.
We'd been gone for months.
Yeah, we'd have been gone for ages.
We've gone for about a month or two, long
month,
just over
about a month and a half, something like that. Yeah.
Well, a shot in a cat. Well, a shot in a cat. I can feel the magic in the air.
Magic with the family.
Magic with the family.
That was when we were sat in your van with Porter.
Yeah.
And we were looking on Snapchat, weren't we?
Yeah.
And like, you
can click the little blue bit, can't you? And random
on, like,
locations.
the maps, yeah.
And I clicked it in Florida, and there was some guy in Ollivanders in Universal or whatever in the Harry Potter thing, and it just came on. It was like just panning around like this.
It was like a full family, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like random weirdos.
Just like there was some like Swedish people or something, because they were like, there's just some guy in the background goes, "Magic with the family." The way he said it was like Dr. Doofus. Went to the fucking Ollivanders one shop. Magic with the family.
You can't catch the cave NPC.
Look, are you dumb? You cannot catch the fucking cave NPC, you wedges.
And the plesiosauroids, they're the ones on fucking big steroids, which had large heads and short necks. So they were the chode version. So this is actually in Loch Ness. Right, subscribe because we're going to make a video. We're going to go out on a rubber dinghy on Loch Ness and hunt for Nessie, and that's not a joke, so just
we are going to do that
We are
in the summer.
doubt.
Well boys, we did it. We travelled the full UK in a van. So if you're new here, me and my mate lived out my van for a month, travelling the length of the country, doing some crazy shiz and some mad biz. What is that strange noise from behind the tree? It's a wild scruff bag. It's a scruff bag. What is having this? Look at these trippy ass pictures, man.
Oh man, that was epic.
So cool.
He was cool, that guy.
Yeah, proper. Yeah, so the guy who made all this art and that, we met him. I mean, we were talking to him. And then,
with him.
yeah, he said he just paints in the gardens and that's.
But we asked Glasto, so is he about? Yeah. She said, yeah, he's probably somewhere. And she went and found him.
We're in the Cotswolds, looking at the little ducklings. These ducks are absolutely magical because the water's moving this way. But them bad boys, they're still. I mean, how are you doing that? How are you doing it? You're freaking me out, mate. You're freaking me out. Stop it. Nah, carry on. Do your thing. I've named that one at the front Quackman 3000. He just looks like a Quackman 3000 to me.
He just looks like a Quackman 3000.
Quackman 3000! Subscribe, you silly goose.
Arseholes, bastards, fucking cunts and pricks. Aerosol, the bricks. A lawless brat from a council flat. Oh, oh. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Oh, oh. Dirty tricks. From the Milan road to the matchstick bear country. Pulling strokes and taking liberties.
Subscribe, you silly goose. Right boys, I've made an official Honey Project Discord server, so click the link below, come join it, come hang out with me, the boys and the rest of the homies. You'll get exclusive news on Honey Project and Honey Production stuff, and I've also created channels for other creators of art, audio, graphics, anything to share your work, so come get involved, come be one of the homies, click the link below.